Alright, bring it on, buddy. Let's see what you got. I got all kinds of evidence this is what I saw, baby. After the morning dance of devotion, to go back to my chamber, I got the notion. Okay, so we're gonna have to translate this. After the morning dance of devotion, to go back to my chamber, I got the notion. So he's like, after the thing, I wanted to go rest in my room. Don't you know my chamber's on the way? To the temple's treasure room, hey, hey. So his chamber's on the way to the temple's treasure room. Okay. So let's try and scope this out while we can. Here, guys. Alright, so the performance hall. Chamber. Don't you know my chamber's on the way to the temple treasure room? I guess it's just right across. Yeah, okay, yeah. Any small footsteps I can clearly hear if anyone to the treasure room goes near. Ollie was the only one. Ollie was the only one. Before the blackout, one other than Roll. Only Albie to the treasure room did stroll. Tell me I was hallucinating just now. Like, can you believe Mr. Roll bit the big one after that? Harsh, man. I share your sentiments. You were the one who discovered the victim's body, weren't you, Mr. Understandin? Understandin? Okay, what? You found the body as well? He really is a key witness, then. That's right, brother. After the blackout, I went to reset the breaker and give power back to the people. The circuit box is near my chamber, so I'm always the man for the job, you feel me? The breakers are in the first floor hallway, in the front of the storeroom. On the way, I got a whiff of something funky. Blood, man, really harshed my mellow. I knew something wasn't kosher, so I swung by the treasure room to see what's what. And it was like, whoa, man, there was poor Mr. Roll, dead as a doornail. Okay, so it has the breaker. The interval between the end of the dance of devotion and the black. In the interval between the dance of the devotion and the blackout. Wasn't there a practice run going on at the time as well? All that it was added was the breaker. Yeah, that's all that was added. The only ones who went to the scene of the crime were the victim and the accused. So you see, Mr. Understanding's unassailable account is what led to the accused's arrest. Hold it! Isn't it possible that the murder took place before the end of the dance of devotion? Heh heh. I'm afraid that's not possible. The victim was in the performance hall until the very end of the dance. He was? Would you like some proof? How's this? A photo taken by a tourist of the morning dance of devotion. Hey, look, there he is. Okay, and the guy doing the dance, he is wearing the key on his neck, so I can't... My, what graceful dancing! I can almost hear the sound of Mr. Understanding's Dom Holland now. Payne's right. There's Mr. Roll on duty. Heh heh heh. Never underestimate the incredible Payne. So in addition to Rafa's, I don't know, insight, he had backup evidence lined up too, huh? Oh, whoops. Actually, has that been added to the court record? No, it has not. Let me take a look at that actually again. Okay. Dance of Devotion photo added to the court record. Okay, let me look at that. This had my monks in training are like my own kids, like family. Can you dig it? Picture of the stage shows Roll on guard duty in the audience. I do see something around his neck. It is there. And there he is. Okay, hang on. He's wearing like an orange scarf. Let me take a look. That is orange. And he is wearing that. Yeah. Okay. Alright. I should have taught Albie better, man. Before Her Holiness, the Holy Mother. Oh, Albie, confess your sins, my young brother. Head monk, I understand, and I didn't kill Mr. Roll, so I don't have anything to confess to the Holy Mother. What? Bogus, little man, your faith is weak. Like a wet paper bag, are you feeling me? Spare the rod, hey, baby. Spoil the child, not maybe. What? Her Holiness is monogamous, son. Magnanimous. If you confess your guilt, she'll forgive you in the Twilight Realm. I don't suppose she could forgive him in this realm first. Defense, please begin your cross-examination. Alright. Bring it. What I saw, baby. After the morning dance of devotion, to go back to my chamber, I got the notion. Hold it! I have a question. Lay it on me, man.
How dare you interrupt the great peace, love, and understanding? I was really enjoying that.
Sorry, but, you know, there's something about that name I can't put my finger on.
What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding?
You had a question for me, brother? You were playing something during the dance of devotion, weren't you? You know it, baby. I was playing my beautiful girl right here, this Damara woman. In offering to Her Holiness, I play the music and the singers sing the song in the ceremony.
Mr. Understanding's playing is the best in the kingdom. It must please Her Holiness greatly. Now then, could you continue with your testimony, Mr. Understanding?
For the Holy Mother, I keep on trucking. This Damaran still needs some plucking. Don't you know my chamber's on the way to the temple's treasure room? Hey, hey. Hold it! Could you please point out one more time where your chamber is located? Yeah, man, no sweat. Okay, my chamber is on the way from the performance hall to the treasure room. So anyone going to the treasure room would have to pass by Understanding's chamber. Give peace and love a chance. Any small footsteps I can quite clearly hear if anyone to the treasure room goes near. Hold it! Even from inside your chamber, you can still hear what's going on outside? Temple's a groovy old building, built from Mother Nature's finest. You can hear a pin drop through the wooden walls, you dig? In an old building like that, I guess the walls must be pretty thin. And that's how Mr. Understanding could know the culprit's movements. It's all thanks to the Holy Mother's divine protection. Right on, my man. I dedicate this testimony to Her Holiness. Albie was the only one. Albie was the only one. Hold it! How can you tell it was Albie just from the sound of some footsteps? Albie is practically family, man. The smooth groove of his shoes are easy to pick out. But how do you know he went to the treasure room? Didn't you think it was possible he went to the storeroom at the other end of the hall? No way, man. I saw him with my own 2 eyes. You saw him? Oh, what's this new information? In the treasure room. This you can believe. My peepers peeped the sneaky sneak Albie. And tell us where it is you stood when you saw the accused, if you would. When I heard the footsteps, I looked out the window. Ooh. Oh, not the best thing to tell us, buddy. From my window, I can see the window of the first floor hallway across the courtyard, you dig? And through that window, I saw Albie walking in the treasure room. Should I have him add this statement to the testimony? Yes, please. Could you please add that statement to your testimony, Mr. Anderstanden? You got it, brother. Too easy, but I have to press it anyway. Through the window, I did spy little Albie with my own eye. Hold it! Hold it! Phoenix is probably going to tell me there's something fishy about this. Through the window, you say? That's right, brother. There's a courtyard outside the window of my chamber. Across the courtyard, I can see the window of the hallway to the treasure room, man. Judging from the diagram, I guess that's plausible.
A view of the courtyard from your own chamber. How nice that must be. I bet it's beautiful at this time of year without Kurai's butterflies flitting about.
You know what, Pops? I often look out into the courtyard while playing my Damal. I don't know how to say it, guys. And it goes a little something like this. Albie was the only one. Before the blackout, only one other than Roll, only Albie to the treasure room did stray. How can you be so sure that nobody else was there? Whoa, man, you lawyers are as uptight as they say. Isn't it possible that someone else could have snuck past? The answer, my friend, is squeaky wooden floorboards, baby. They make such a racket not even the quietest cat could sneak by me, you dig?
Yes, that makes sense. And all of that just now was simply more of the attorney's unfounded suspicions, I see.
That's the truth, baby. It's all that I say. The truth is all. It's everything.
Words of wisdom, words of truth. Baby tooth forsooth phone booth.
Much thanks to Mr. Anderstanden. Let's bring an end to this defense grandstanding. You're not stopping me until my client goes free. Wait a minute, why am I singing? Right on, even the lawyer's joining in, baby. Everyone's starting to feel the groovy vibe of my far-out rhythm. I refuse to let him run this show. I think I found the flaw I've been looking for. Anderstanden was in the chamber on the 2nd floor. But there was something that definitely should have been blocking his view. Yeah, in case you didn't figure it out already, guys. Alright. But just in case it's not what I think, I'm gonna save. Always a good idea to save every testimony. Okay. Through the window, I did spy. Yeah, shut up. Due to growing numbers of thefts around the temple, we'll be tightening security. Therefore, all of the hallway shutters will remain shut. Alright, I have to do this. Objection!
Objection!
There, that's the only time I'm going to do that, maybe. There's something off about that, Mr. Anderstanden. My music is off? I'm sorry you feel that way, man. Maybe this vibe ain't topping the charts where you're standing, where you're from. What's your poison? Orchestra? Jazz soul? There's nothing wrong with my ears, witness, but something's not quite right with your eyes. Mr. Understanding, you've been lying to this court. Now, why would I lie? I got nothing to hide. Truth and truth alone is all I sing. Lying, y'all. Nah, lying ain't my thing. I contend otherwise. Do you recognize this object, Mr. Anderstanden? It's a temple notice, man. What of it? In this notice, the following instruction to the temple monks is written. All of the hallway shutters will remain shut for today's dance of devotion. What you talking about, Phoenix? I'm talking about the fact that from your chamber, you couldn't have seen anyone go into the treasure room through those shutters. Man. Looks like you didn't get the memo. No way, I don't believe it, man. If you don't believe it, why don't you read the notice for yourself? Let's see. Something, something, will, something for something, something. Is that your idea of reading? I'm not so hot at reading Kuranese, man. I actually get one of those other monks to read stuff for me, you know? Doesn't that make your duties as head monk a little difficult? Hey, cut me some slack, man. I only moved to this country 6 months ago. That's quite recent, isn't it? So, how did someone who's only been here 6 months become head monk of a temple? How little you understand. Religious faith can't be measured in months or years. I've only been an adherent of Kuranism for 3 months myself. The Holy Mother's teachings really spoke to me, prompted me to stay in this country. Yeah. Or was it the fact that there are no lawyers here that spoke to you? Mr. Payne, I know just how you feel, my man. Their Holiness teachings spoke to me, too. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Brother Dumb and Brother Dumber. Well, I know why Payne suddenly became a believer in Kuranism. But could Understanding have an ulterior motive for becoming a believer too? Maybe to steal some shit. I don't know. Mr. Understanding, were you really in your chambers as you claim? But what? Hey, be chill, brother. Weren't you, instead, somewhere else? Mr. Wright, what kind of nonsense are you spouting now? According to Mr. Understanding's testimony, he saw Albie with his own eyes. Therefore, is it really nonsense to suggest he could have seen Albie from somewhere else? Well...
Do you have a theory, defense? Do you know where Mr. Understanding was, if not in his chamber?
If he wasn't in his room, then... Albie had gone down the stair hallway toward the treasure room. And only a few places he could have seen Albie from. I do have a theory, Your Majesty. Let's say the witness really did see Albie going towards the treasure room. What then? The defense proposes that this is the only place he could have seen Albie go down that hall. Hang on, let me save, because I'm not entirely sure if I'm on the same... Okay. Now we know that we're trying to pin this crime on him. I mean, it was him, so he's going to have to probably not be in the treasure room, because they need to be seen, because especially since it glows in the dark. So I'm guessing he was near the breaker or in the storeroom. Or, I'm going to say near the breaker. I'll get real close.
Take that! There? But you just suggested earlier that that's where the true culprit might have been.
True, but no matter how I look at it, this is the only place I understand it could have been.
Mr. Foreign Lawyer, don't tell me. Are you accusing Mr. Understanding of being the true culprit of this case?
Yes, of course. Yes, Your Majesty. I don't think I'd get a funny answer if I chose no. I contend there's a strong possibility this witness is the murderer. How dare you be so disrespectful? First you criticize her benevolent insights, now you accuse the head monk of murder?
Objection!
This is the only place the witness could have been. If he was here, he could have struck the victim down from behind and moved the body to the treasure room. That's nothing but groundless conjecture. And there's one more thing. Do you remember what was said in the opening argument?
The opening argument?
During that argument, it was suggested that Albie used his position as monk in training to get his hands on the treasure. That's right. And what of it? Well, why don't we try a twist on this for size? The thief used his position as head monk of the temple to get a hold of the treasure. What?
What?
You're joshing me, man. The key to the treasure box has been passed down from head monk to head monk. What better position to be in if you want to steal the treasure? You can't possibly be serious. Well, we already know the contradiction that the prosecutor or either Mr. Understand is going to pull up. Oh, why would he force it open if he had a key?
Does this mean you're claiming that Mr. Understanding's oath of faith is nothing but a lie designed to get closer to the treasure?
The witness hasn't been truthful in his testimony to this court. So clearly he isn't above lying. Didn't you swear to the Holy Mother that naught but the truth would you bring? In light of that, I don't think it's unfair to call your faith into question.
Objection!
Oh, we just had a visitor for like a few seconds. How's it going, Kirby White? Anyway. Alright, this is ridiculous. Are there no limits to what this lawyer will say? I mean, lie is such a strong word. Maybe it was just a mistake. Enough with the nervous wrecked routine, prosecutor. You're just embarrassing yourself, man. What?
What was that, Mr. Understanding?
Lawyer man, you really are the lowest of low. You've gone and said something I can't forgive. You called my belief into question, my faith in the Holy Mother. And nobody gets away with that. Oh my.
What on earth? That music, it's making my ears bleed.
Where did he get those amplifiers from? This is the music of my soul. Death to the lawyer. I'm the Twilight Messenger. Can't you tell? Gonna take this lying lawyer straight to hell. He's dripping with lies, running with Philistines. I'm gonna send that lawyer to the guillotines. I mean, it's guillotine, but you know, or guillotine, whatever. But to make it rhyme, he had to stretch it a bit. And now for something completely different. What the? That plinkety-plunk music just wouldn't let me express my rage. Your rage, huh? Isn't the real source of your anger having your lie exposed? You just don't get it. If I lied, it's 'cause you drove me to it. All sniffing around and suspicious, throwing all false accusations and shit. Sorry, but as a lawyer, I'm afraid that's my job. Yeah, well, lawyers are crap. Keep making noise and I'll have to use my partner here on you. I'm the one making noise. I'm the one making noise? Hey, so you want to know the truth, huh? Think you can handle the truth, do ya? Fine. Let's see you try. Feel the heart of my brutal death beat. This guy's a little kooky. Savage, right? Sweating bullets, ain't ya? The screams of my soul are gonna make a mosh pit out of this peanut gallery. Did he really just win the court over with that performance? Yo, Giza, I got something to testify. Get ready for the howling of my soul. I call this chart topper soul screaming truth. Oh boy. Look at this crazy guy. Soul screaming truth. The priestess's dance had come to an end. To the music storeroom, my way I did win. Death true is what you dread. Hear me shred. Not much to that. From my spot in front of the storeroom, I saw Albie creep to the treasure room. He just rhymed room with anyway. And trailing from behind, hound on the scent, I saw patrol. After Albie, he went. Me and my girl here, innocent and sweet, back by the storeroom, can't be beat. Then out with the power, ticket to my midnight, blacker than blackest black, Robin, all sight. Yeah, baby, let that soul metal flow. So it did not bring up the fact that he had the key and it was forced open, but he was right by the breaker though. Why didn't he immediately like fix it? I don't know.
What's that music? I've never heard anything like it. And it's so fast, it's making my head spin.
This is the Malin metal. Hey, yo, Giza, how are those ears ringing? I don't know much about music, but I've got chills, and they're multiplying. Hey, you scared, lawyer man? Run away, fast as you can. What a wonderful rhythm. The perfect accompaniment for further deliberations. Now, Mr. Understanding, what did you go to the music storeroom for? Hey, I went to put my Damal away. She's my precious partner. Gotta give her a good rest after playing in the right. But then, why did you lie before? Because you'd send me to hell. Huh? We all know about lawyers and their lying, lawyerly ways. Am I right, people? If I admitted I went to the storeroom, he'd have drummed up a false charge on me. I didn't want to get sent to hell. What do you say? He's right. That's so would have happened. Now I see why that Defense Culpability Act was passed. You feel me, Kurain? Yeah, you said it. Is this too much ask for a low-key trial? Now, are you punks ready to rock or what? Oh boy. I can't hear you. I said you're ready to teach this lying lawyer how we do things around here? Alright, then I'm gonna lay it on you one more time. The screaming truth of my soul. Alright, bring it on, buddy. I'm gonna press the shit out of you.
Hold it!
I like this music. You say you went to the music storeroom. But how do we know you didn't go to the treasure room to steal the treasure instead? And on what grounds would you base that accusation? Got anything to show for it? He's right. I don't really have any proof. And yet... Well, you can't prove that you didn't go to the treasure room either. You stole the treasure and were ready to make your getaway when you saw Mr. Roll. So you panicked and ran into the music storeroom, isn't that right? Why do I feel like I'm being stabbed by icy stares from every direction? The silence is your answer, lawyer man. This audience knows the score. Just what we needed, a moment of silence to bid this lawyer's baseless claim goodbye. Why do they have to hate lawyers so much in this country? I said it before and I'll say it again, lawyer man. After the priestess dance, I went to the music storeroom. Death true is what you dread. Hear me shred.
Hold it!
Don't think this has anything to do with anything. So what exactly do you mean by death truth? It's the blade of truth that's gonna send your lawyer soul to hell. A sea of blood will be the last thing you ever see. I'm not sure I want to get what he's saying. I don't expect a bobblehead like you to understand. Either you get it or you feel it, or you don't. Simple as that. Nothing to that sense. Part of it. From my spot in front of the storeroom, I saw Albie creep to the treasure room.
Hold it!
I don't think there's anything wrong there. How did Albie appear at that time? Come to think of it, he was glancing all around, shifty-like. You could tell he was up to no good. Shady, I tell you. What's that saying about people who live in glass houses? Shouldn't throw stones. Well, he was about to steal the treasure, so it only stands to reason he'd look furtive.
Objection!
The defendant admitted he was sneaking in to see the treasure box. Wouldn't that be why he was looking around? What's that, people? Only the Holy Mother knows the truth, you say? Bzz, wrong. Please love knows the score, baby. From my lips to our Holy Mother's ears, an artist only sings what he saw there. In other words, my reasoning isn't good enough for good God boy here. And what did you see next, Mr. Understanding? Okay, nothing with that, I don't think. And trailing from behind, hound on the scent. I saw patrol. After Albie, he went, wait, that's wrong. If he was after him, then why would they get on the stairs? And even if they got to the stairs, why would Albie be in front of him?
Hold it!
Something wrong with this. Potentially. Something tells me this is going to be a spectacular waste of time, but what do you mean by hound on the scent? What? You don't get it? It's always the same, y'all. Lyrics questioned without mercy. The more famous the song, the greater the controversy. It wasn't your lyrical sense I was questioning. I say hound on the scent, like hunting dog, because, you know, robles on guard and... Uh-oh. Here we go. The inspiration came to me suddenly like a flash and... that's okay, you don't have to explain your lyrics anymore. Hey! You're the one who asked. I knew I shouldn't have asked.
Mr. Understanding, you're still on the stand, so please stick to your testimony. You can explain your lyrics to me later in Demolin class.
Fine. Have it your way, geezer. The show must go on. Slash and thrash. The slashing and thrashing, maybe? I don't know, I didn't read it. Me and my girl here, innocent and sweet, back by the storeroom, can't be beat.
Hold it!
What exactly were you doing in the music storeroom? There. Get the picture? Picture? What picture?
Mr. Understanding is requesting that you not ask him the same thing over and over.
Hey, geezer, you got it in one. Take a bow, baby. How the heck did he understand that? What was I doing in the music storeroom, you ask? I already told you. I was taking care of my partner in crime here. Partner in crime? Not the best thing to say, buddy. Anyway, getting ready to put her away. But see, would you believe it? Then out with the power. Ticket to midnight. Blacker than blackest black. Robbing all sight.
Hold it!
Where were you when the power outage occurred? Like I said, I was in the music storeroom. My girl had been sounding a little off, so I had to get her back in tune. Oh wait, is he saying that he saw them whenever Albie was leaving the place? Isn't it true that you were actually in the hallway at the time? The hallway, you say? Why would I be in the hallway? You were waiting for Mr. Roll to come back from his patrol of the treasure. Now that he discovered the treasure had been stolen, you were going to kill him. Lawyer man, just as always, so full of bull, spewing noxious lies and pulling the wool. Filthy liar, through and through, and I ain't never ever gonna forgive you. Utter lies with no evidence. As always, his claims are just tenuous. Hey, nice prosecutor. I'm picking up what you're throwing down. Someone stop their jam session, please.
You've made your assertions clear, defense, but your argument is rather unsubstantiated.
That's not good. Heh heh heh. What's so funny? Peas in love and understanding. Nevertheless, the possibility is still there. You can't deny the witness could have killed the victim under the cover of darkness.
Objection!
You're forgetting one very important thing. Huh? Heh heh heh. It seems you've forgotten that the outage happened by chance, not design.
Oh, that's right?
Oh, that's right. I did forget about that. It's not like the witness planned an outage, so he could take advantage of the darkness. And without darkness, it would have been hard to sneak up behind Mr. Roll and kill him.
You're right. Even I would notice something coming up behind me. Well, defense, what do you have to say about that?
What can I say about that? Mr. Wright, your claim is completely without merit. Unless you want to argue that the witness somehow magically made the outage happen. Well, maybe not magically, but... Wait, that's it. I contend that the witness could have made the power outage happen. With no magic necessary. What?
How, you have a theory, defense?
He was right next to the breaker. All I do is to make use of something shown in this diagram. Let me save just in case it's not that, and it turns out it's the treasure room.
Take that!
The witness was in the storeroom. The circuit box is on the storeroom into the hallway. There's nothing really magical about turning off the breaker, wouldn't you say?
Gnurk.
Best expression. Nice try, but that theory doesn't hold any water, lawyer man. Doesn't hold water. And why not? You're saying I turned the breaker off and then snuck up on Mr. Roll and hit him? In pitch black darkness, with no source of light whatsoever? That's what you're saying? No, not with no light whatsoever. Okay, haha. With the lights off, that hallway's blacker than 100 midnights. You can't see the hand in front of your face. How can anyone commit a murder like that? Unless it was someone was standing right in front of the victim, like the accused. I hate when he's right. But I can't just let this point stand. Where's point stand? Well, maybe the victim was holding something that served as a guide. Maybe like a, a box that glowed in the dark. Guide through the darkness? Something? That's more than a little vague, wouldn't you agree? You ain't gonna move this room with a half-backed punch like that, bro. You gotta hit him hard, really make him feel it, you hear? Just like my verse, baby. Oh, I'm not real. Anyway, I don't know, whatever. Okay.
Well, I'm afraid I don't understand the witness's lyrics very well either. But in trial, your arguments have to be clear and precise. Let's see some of that clarity and precision now, defense.
Uh-oh, what do I do?
Can you present us something that could have served as a guide to the darkness?
I can. Yes, I can. Because there has to be something. Alright, let's see what you
Have to have defense.
What could have the victim been holding that served as a guide to the darkness?
Take that!
I believe the victim was holding the treasure box. Huh? Huh? Have you gone mad? Well, the box glows in the dark, so you could use it as a sort of beacon.
Well, I guess you're right.
But why in the world would the victim be holding the treasure box? Oh, well, because your guess is as good as mine. What's this lawyer talking about? Nonsense and lies yet again. Just give him the death penalty already. No, please, sir. Is there no way to win them over? If you win the trial, maybe you could.
Defense. Are you going to be needing those tongue shears after all?
No, your majesty. Yeah, man, do it! Then we can jam out to this lawyer's shrieks of pain. Ha, better to get those screams of agony out now, lawyer man. Well, you still have a tongue to scream with. I guess I better come up with a reason. No pressure or anything. As to why the victim was holding the treasure box, it can be easily explained as thus. Brain, don't fail me now. What reason could the victim possibly have had to holding that treasure box? Okay. The victim was holding the treasure box because he was... Okay, obviously we don't want to say the thief. A devout believer? I don't really understand. A security guard. I'm just gonna say security guard. Because he was a security guard.
I beg your pardon?
Mr. Roll removed the treasure from the treasure room in order to protect it.
What on earth are you talking about?
He must have known that the treasure would be stolen on that day. Maybe he'd received a warning from the culprit. And so, before the treasure could be stolen, Mr. Roll decided to take it somewhere safe.
Oh my! How thrilling!
Objection!
Objection! Your Majesty, don't let the defense's forked tongue deceive you. The victim had even an inkling of potential theft. Or if he had a... whatever. Surely he would have let the temple authorities know.
Oh, you're right.
He never mentioned a word of anything like that to me, and I'm the head monk. I'm suddenly not so confident about that answer.
Phew, I just came dangerously close to having my soul swayed by this lawyer's lies.
I'm not lying. Guess I better try again. Okay. The victim was holding the treasure box because he was... We have to say the most outlandish answer. The thief. Because it wasn't actually him. It's an idea that I just happened to stumble upon. I think it just might be the answer. And it would turn this whole trial upside down.
Hello, defense? Are you still with us?
Let's hear this.
This easy explanation you promised.
Isn't it possible that it was because the victim himself was the thief?
The victim?
The thief. What kind of bull are you spewing now? I was the one who stole it, babe. I mean... Fuck you. Your Majesty, this guy's off his rocker. If the victim was the thief, everything we've learned so far would all make sense. And it would give us a completely new way of interpreting the victim's actions. After the morning dance of devotion, Mr. Roll went to the treasure room. He grabbed the box that contained the treasure and started to take off with it. But then he ran into Albie on the Great Stairs. That's why Mr. Roll pulled his gun on Albie. Then, when the blackout occurred, Mr. Roll was bludgeoned to death in the darkness. This explains why the victim would be holding the glowing treasure box in the dark. And how it would have been possible for someone other than the accused to kill him. So maybe they were conspiring together, and the guy took the orb, and that's why he said, "Did you take it?" Do you have any idea what you're saying? You're unbelievable, lawyer man. I think you've lost it. Ha! That's the craziest thing I've ever heard, trying to roll the temple. The devout believer? That pious Korinist?
I won't allow you to disparage the victim's departed soul with
Uh-oh. I suppose it doesn't really matter. No one's watching right now, so... It's cool. Anyway.
I won't allow you to disparage the victim's departed soul with unfounded allegations. I hope you're prepared to back up your claim.
Of course, your majesty. Oh, really? In that case, can we assume you have proof? Uh-oh. Proof, huh? Do I have any proof? I can't back down now. Yes, I have proof. In my dreams. The proof that Mr. Roll was the thief may have been left behind on a certain piece of evidence.
Very well. Let's see your evidence and be ready to stand behind it.
Footprints, fingerprints, I'll take anything at this point. And proof, something that would have been involved with the theft. And that might still have some trace evidence left on it. What proof do you have that the victim might have been the thief? Okay. Okay, no. Just taking a look at some things. Oh, well, the blood on his hand. Right? I'm gonna say this.
Take that!
Nope, nope. That's wrong.
Would you now? Don't think that piece of evidence will give us any answers.
Whoops. Looks like I got it wrong.
Perhaps you would like to examine this penalty instead.
Arrgh! Well, I had to get something wrong. Yeah. Okay, don't overthink this, Phoenix. It's gotta be something that might still hold some trace of being touched. The victim was the thief. What's something he would have touched? Oh! That's what you want? Okay. Ooh, actually, wait, hang on. All the DLC, the costumes, are free the first week that the game comes out, so I'm just gonna go ahead and... Just real quick, guys, I gotta do this real quick before I forget. I don't want to forget. See, this served its purpose. Let's see. Don't worry, guys. I don't know why it's like loading and stuff. That's okay. Just gonna do this real quick, guys. Real quick. So yeah, I guess it's, yeah, see, we get the costume bundle and it's free. We get the tiger for Phoenix, Furio Tigre, we get School Days for Apollo, which is basically Ryunosuke's outfit, and we get the Trabian maid outfit for Athena. So two cool ones, and then a maid outfit for Athena. So that's that one's kind of lame, but I'll take it because it's free. I don't think I'm going to put it on Phoenix. This shouldn't take long. It's, what, wait, 43 blocks it said? Oh yeah, we're good, we're good. Just going to go ahead and get this now, again. Because I don't want to pay money. Alright guys, we got it. I'll put his costume on another time. Okay. Alright, back to the game. So they just want the box. So it's eventually going to lead to that picture anyway, so... Why the treasure box? Oh, wait, okay, why the treasure box, of course? Defense would like to examine the treasure box. There might be trace evidence on it that would show the victim had held it.
Might, you better hope to turn up something more definitive than that defendant.
Yes, sir, your majesty.
Very well. Bailiff, bring the treasure box.
Okay, I thought it was just evidence in general, but it's something that could have had something on it.
There you are, defense. You are free to examine it.
If I don't find something now, my entire argument is up to this point will be blown. Plus, there's the little man of the old tongue shears. I have to find something. I just have to. Now, to make sure I remember how to do this, I can rotate the evidence by sliding the touchscreen. And I can zoom in and out with the slider on the left, too, to get a better look. If I ever get too turned around, I can always touch reset to return things to the initial state. Better search every inch of this box carefully, and touch anything of interest and check it out in detail. Okay, well, the lock. Take a look at that. This is the lock. It was forced open. I don't really see anything else to note about it. Let's examine the blood. The lid of the box was forced open. But while the victim was holding the box, the lid must have been closed. I'll try closing the lid too. Hey! What? You son of a... You locked it! So? What's the big deal? I thought you can open it with that key you're wearing. Yeah, I can. No sweat. Then why is there a bucket load dripping off you over there? I think I'd like to open this box back up again. Could you lend me your Magatama key? Sure. Okay, let's see. Where's the keyhole?
Well, it's the Magatama key. So, wouldn't it go in the hole above the Magatama mark?
Looks like a Riddler trophy. Huh? It won't open. Would you look at that? The thief must have busted the lock when they forced open the box. Really? Because I'm not so sure about that. Not even the Magatama key can open it. Glows in the dark. Okay. In any case, better take another good look. Have to find proof that the victim was holding this box. Oh yeah, that's a handprint, alright. This bloodstain, it shows the outline of a hand. Could this be what I've been looking for? Your Majesty, take a look at this. There's bloodstain here that outlines the shape of a hand. And he has blood on his hand in the picture. Okay, really? Let me see.
Oh my, you're right.
Now I'm getting somewhere. I believe the bloodstain is an outline of the victim's hand as he was holding the box.
What?
Even as he was being struck, he held on tight to the precious treasure box. After all, he'd gone through a lot of trouble to steal it. The blood from his hand wound splattered across his hand onto the box. From his head wound splattered across his hand onto the box. Your Majesty, don't let yourself be taken in. It's just more of his lawyerly deceit.
What do you mean?
Heh heh. Mr. Wright, where is your proof that the outline is that of the victim's hand? Oh, I've got proof. What? I should have seen this coming. Either show proof or prepare to meet the shears. Or you could save us all some time and bite your tongue now and submit it instead. Excuse me. That I did not see coming.
Well, defense, how about it? Do you have any proof that the outline of this victim is the victim?
I don't know what the proof of something like that even be.
Please submit your evidence at this time. What evidence shows that the outline of the treasure box is that of the victim's hand? This! I've got it. This is the evidence that's going to save my beloved tongue.
Mr. Payne, despite your claims about my forked tongue, it just so happens I have proof that you require. You do? It's right here in the crime photo.
It is? Where? Defense, please point it out.
What proves the bloodstain on the outline box was that of the victim's hand, you ask? Well, his hand.
Take that!
Mr. Payne, take a good look at the victim's hand. See this? That's blood. What? If we place Mr. Roll's hand inside the bloody outline, you think the blood on his hand would complete the splatter? Exactly. Here goes nothing. And if they do form one complete splatter, it would prove my theory correct.
Then the victim really was holding the box.
I'm willing to bet my life on it. The defense reasserts that the victim was the thief who stole the treasure box. Now we get some awesome music. I protest. There's no way they would ever match up. I assert that it's patently impossible. Ow! What? Talk about tongue karma. Sounds like he just bit his tongue. Oh, man. What's the matter, Mr. Payne? Did your forked tongue get tangled up in there? Or were you trying to submit your own tongue to the court? Why, you... I can hardly believe it. Apparently not everything out in the defense's mouth is a bluff. Of course not, your majesty. This tongue doesn't lie. And I'd like to continue to use my tongue in the future, too, if you wouldn't mind. He never has to know it really was a bluff. No, not Mr. Roll. I can't believe it. I'm sorry, Albie. I know it's upsetting news. He must have needed the money badly, probably to support his family. After all, he even gave up his dream of becoming a monk to help them. Oh, so that thing Mr. Roll would say to me. Albie, you train hard and make sure you become a monk one day. Don't end up like me, he'd say. Yeah. He was probably warning you not to end up a thief. Mr. Roll. Now wait just 1 minute. If the victim was a thief and was holding the treasure box, then that means Mr. Roll was holding the murder weapon when he was killed.
Oh, that's a very good point. Doesn't make much sense, does it?
If the victim was holding the treasure box, it couldn't have been the murder weapon. Which means the real murder weapon must have been something else.
The real murder weapon?
Was something else? The blood was thought to have gotten on the box when the box was used as a weapon. But it turns out that wasn't the case. The blood splatter on the box was the victim, on the treasure box the victim was holding. Or, I don't know if I read that right, I don't know. When he was struck with the real weapon, that's what really happened. Isn't that right, Mr. Understandin'? Understandin'?